Hello, welcome back to Statman Dave Clips. Today we're going to be taking a look at how Jürgen Klopp will set up Liverpool this season. There's a few players that could be coming into that starting lineup that I'm kind of excited to see in the Premier League. Make sure, of course, if you are new to subscribe, like that goddamn video. Anyway, let's dive in. So I think it's interesting to look at how Liverpool will set up this season. I think the big thing with Jürgen Klopp, I don't see him moving away from the 4-3-3. The 4-3-3 is kind of a standard situation for them. Firmino, off Mane and Salah, midfield three of Fabinho holding, any combination of midfielders ahead. Back four, we know, I think the best back four when they're fit is either Van Dijk with Gomez or Van Dijk with Konaté. I think either way, that is a top quality back four. I think that's a level where we know what's going to happen. The forwards are going to narrow, the strikers are going to narrow, the width is going to be provided by fullback, and the midfield is going to maintain balance. With Virgil van Dijk back, you're going to see an improvement in the transition. You're going to see an improvement with controlling the play and so forth. The issue for Liverpool again is injuries. Injuries at the start of the season are a big thing. So for Liverpool early parts of the season, we're probably going to see a new left fullback come in. And Tsimikas has been excellent in pre-season and could really fulfill that role for Liverpool Football Club, wide left in the pitch. That's the first thing that we'll talk about. Tsimikas done really well in pre-season. Grabbed an assist against Osasuna, I do believe, for the Firmino second goal. So this is something that obviously is required from Liverpool fullbacks, is that creativity. And we've not seen much of Tsimikas for Liverpool yet. But I think Klopp and the analytics team have obviously done very, very well in terms of their recruitment recently. And I think playing him in this back four could be vitally important. Other ideas for maintaining Liverpool's attacking impetus in the final third would be potentially bringing in Joe Gomez, playing Joe Gomez at right back, and maybe playing Trent as an inverted wing back. Mane holding the width in that central area, and either Thiago coming into that central area and Trent moving into midfield, or alternatively Thiago sitting and Trent going in. That's very much an option for Liverpool. I think Trent has got the ability to play that position at times for Liverpool. When corners are taken and so forth, you'll see Trent defending wide left, you'll see Robertson defending wide right in the back four. So I don't think that's that much of a problem from a defensive perspective. You probably look into an even better position in sense of there's a lot of forwards in the Premier League that do cut in from the left-hand side onto their stronger right foot. Trent could deal with that, so I think that is a very good option. You could slightly change Liverpool's attacking structure as well with that, throwing players forward. Players obviously excelled in pre-season. Harvey Elliott that could add to that midfield. I think just to make up the rest of the midfield, unfortunately, Curtis Jones picked up another injury, which is sad. As a player, I really like Curtis Jones. He'll be a top talent going forward. But probably the rest of the midfield either made up by James Milner coming in, or alternatively, if we're going to be looking at other players that could fulfill the role, it could be the season for Keita. Keita's obviously come to Liverpool, big price tag, not really lived up to that yet. But there's still thought process that he could be that guy. And I think for Liverpool, in terms of changing their lineup, either the attacking structure you mentioned there, Naby Keita playing a little bit higher in that situation, or obviously Trent playing in that zone. And then you'd probably see either Salah or Elliott, who played for Blackburn last season, probably a lot more wide right than inside, but did like to drift into the pockets inside. Salah could hold the width and Elliott could move inside. And you got a different attacking structure, a different attacking lineup, and so forth for Liverpool. That is one option. Obviously, the simpler option is Tsimikas coming into the team, him playing left back, Mane being inside, Salah being inside, Trent on the overlap out wide, and Tsimikas on the left. And the big thing with Harvey Elliott, obviously, there's a lot of talk about Harvey Elliott in terms of his potential and where he can go. And he's a player that, looking into him, perfect for Liverpool. Last season, applied his trade in... Actually, we've got to change Harvey Elliott's number 16. He's been promoted. Which probably gives you an indication that he will be first team next season. So number 16 for Liverpool. Let's flip it over to SofaScore and have a look at his stats from last season. 18 years old. This kid has the talent of the world. So much talent. But the big thing for him last season in the Championship for Blackburn Rovers, who were a bit of a hit-miss side. Obviously, they had a bagsman up front in Adam Armstrong, who's joined Southampton. But 11 assists and 7 goals in the Championship in 41 games from a player that started the season at 17 is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I think the thing what he gave this this Blackburn team, I think it's that little bit of creativity, that spark. I think finishing as well was supreme on that stronger left foot. There's a lot of times where he take it first time on his left foot. But from watching him, what I get about him is a very balanced player that's quite two-footed. And for me, that is what you want to be in the modern day. Very, very two-footed. So comfortable on his right. I've seen assists where he's gone out wide right and he's crossed the ball with his right foot. I've seen assists where he's wide left and he's crossed the ball with his left foot. Pinpoint crossing into the box. Seen some brilliant passes on the transition. And I feel that's where Harvey Elliott could really help Liverpool. Liverpool are very much a transitional side. Blackburn were quite a transitional side in the Championship last season. When I'm talking transition, I'm talking about, let's say Liverpool have defended a corner or they've defended a situation, and they're dropping back and they're ready to break. And, the thing that we saw quite a lot with them is Harvey Elliott receiving in these types of positions, either feeding the right winger, feeding the striker, or feeding the left winger. And his technical ability with passing, very, very good for his age. Some brilliant through balls, that led to assists, his 11 assists in the Championship. Great numbers for a youth player, that is. Sensational numbers. And it's kind of like that level of play and so forth that Liverpool fans should be excited. They haven't signed anyone in a sense, but they've in a way signed a player coming back from on loan, and he's definitely someone to watch out for, and could really be the guy. Put on a show against Bilbao in pre-season as well. Going to give Klopp a lot of extra depth in midfield or up front. I think he'll take the position of Shaqiri in the squad, but then play more. And as we mentioned, very, very good in the transitions, can take corners, can play inside, can play outside. So from an attacking perspective, comfortable if Salah's drifting wide, making that inside run, which could give Trent a bit more space as well. I think that's another level of Liverpool need to kind of work on and evolve, is how to free up Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think we'll see a little bit more vertical movement from Harvey versus, let's say a Henderson, who may be a little bit more shuttly in a sense. I think we'll see more forward runs inside versus an outside overlap. But we will see that as well, I imagine. Salah coming in, maybe Elliott making that alternate route, and then, Trent can maybe hold that into an inside position where he likes to cross from. But I think there's a lot of quality in Harvey Elliott, and it's a big signing. Talking about signings, obviously we've got to talk about Diogo Jota as well, brought in last season. Very much could start the season in that false 9 position. I think that is a good bit of competition for positions now. Both teams will have to kind of step up. Jota and Roberto Firmino in that situation. Both have got a decent skill set and a different skill set. You say Firmino probably can link better, link the attack better and get involved and allow that movement off the line. You'd say Jota's probably a little bit more of a goal scorer, but could also allow Mane to play in that central position. Mane's got a big season for Liverpool. He had a poor year last year for his own high standards. Finished the season in relatively better form, but needs to start the season flying, banging goals in. Salah really carried Liverpool from a goal-scoring perspective last season. And I think taking that responsibility off Salah, more goals from Jota, more from Mane, maybe a few from Harvey Elliott in there as well, could really improve the side. But I think Tsimikas will start in the season, but going forward, obviously, we will see the likes of Robertson come back into the side. One of the best left fullbacks in the world of football. We can't, ignore that. May see Thiago come in there. But I kind of think if Harvey Elliott gets a run in the side, I think that Klopp's going to back him. Klopp's got a good, record with young attackers. Mario Götze was obviously the last young one that he had that blew up at Dortmund. There's obviously been other examples of that coming through his career, but that's just the one that jumps out to me. Similar type of player. Little bit of a, technical player. Very, very good both feet. Obviously, Mario Götze was more of a dribbler, you'd say. And I think the good thing with Elliott is a very heads-up footballer that if Salah is making that running behind, he will use the ball and drop that through ball, which is a different skill set, I'd say, than the rest of Liverpool's midfielders. He's a bit more direct. And I think that could benefit them. Good cross through the ball as well, which obviously Liverpool create a lot of chances that way. So I think it's like a signing him coming back, but I expect Liverpool to continue with their kind of 4-3-3. Fullbacks nice and high. The front three narrow in, be it Jota, Mane, Salah, or Firmino going in, or even Harvey Elliott playing high. And I think it's a big season. It's a challenge for the players that were previously there. You know, big challenge for the likes of Thiago. Big challenge for Salah again, who scored 20 plus league goals in 3 of his 4 seasons for Liverpool so far. Since his debut, scored more goals than any other player in the league at 95. And Liverpool underperformed in terms of their defensive side of their game last season. So you expect that to kind of bang as well with Van Dijk coming back, with Konaté brought in. Konaté is such a good 1v1 defender. Konaté is going to be one of the best defenders in world football. What a signing that is. So if he can get playing as well, great footballer, brilliant 1v1, like Van Dijk. And I think that's the level. Matip's also there as well. I not even spoke about Matip. He'll be back. So basically, Liverpool have got 4 really good centre-backs now from having about 1 last season, which is an interesting one. I feel like Liverpool need to evolve. Harvey Elliott could be the guy to spark that resurgence. A lot of pressure on a young player, but a young player that's got massive amounts of talent. And Liverpool, they will have to come together to compete with the spending of City, of Chelsea, but very much, that Jürgen Klopp has always overachieved with his side. So again, Jürgen Klopp could do something different from a tactical side as well, but it'll be an interesting season. Thanks for watching, guys. Of course, Liverpool have got a big job ahead of them with the signings that City and Man United and Chelsea have made. Get into the comments below. Where do you think they'll finish in the Premier League? And of course, find us next time on the Statman Dave Clips channel. See ya!